Welcome to Cat's Patio Chats. I'm hanging out with my Thuja arborite, and I am sitting in the shade because it's very, very sunny where I am. And I've got my passion flower vine and my grapevine going, and my peppermint, and an oak tree that was planted by a squirrel, and a little rose bush, and my hellebore, some passion flower, African basil, and spider grass, or spider plant, spider wort, actually. And we're going to have a little convo about my own personal observations about life and what's happening in the spiritual realm by way of the conscious soul evolving. And if that's you, pull up a cuppa and a chair, and let's get this talking. Gum removed. So, mine's water today. I have yet not evolved into the alcohol-free experience, although I will tell you this, that if you consider we're in a realm dominated by the devil, or the demonic forces, or evil, which is evil is the opposite of live, and that Bacchus is one of the gods that is given the responsibility or credit or whatever you want to call it, the label, Bacchus, bestowed humanity with alcohol. Supposedly humans do beer very, very well, and supposedly gin did not improve until the Americans got a hold of it. I don't know. I think let's leave the medicinal beverages to the Benedictine monks. Oh, it wouldn't harm you. We're just monks drinking in the mountains because there's nothing else to do. Spirits, whatever. For me personally, I'm a human being doing my best to live on this planet, maintaining sanity in an increasingly insane world. So some people in your life may spin out of control. Woo, 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 woo. And they are spinning out of control, downward spiraling. You have no obligation to try to pick them up anymore. After my decades of being in the presence of a narcissistic male, there is no improvement. There's the endless cycle. There's the hamster wheel of HELL is what there is. And once you recognize toxic behavior in any person, man and woman, then you will avoid it like the plague that it is, on the joy that you can have as a human being on this planet, being alive. Being alive in this particular time in which there's all kinds of tomfoolery about. One of them is this: there is no way. There's your way. There's the heart-centered way, which is different than following your bliss. You're not following your bliss. You're listening to the body consciousness. Now, I have been in Reiki master classes. I have been in matrix energetics with the dearly departed Richard Bartlett, who at the end was hardly recognizable. Richard Bartlett, Access Consciousness is another one. He did matrix energetics. We're in a matrix. The matrix is of the mind and of a societal agreement. It's an unconscious agreement that something is true. Let's put it into very, very simple terms. If you're born into a narcissistic, dysfunctional family, that is a matrix. In my case, it was the malignant matriarch, in which I got to experience what life on earth is like when the female is out of balance and is toxic. My mother. And therefore, when people respond to me as if I'm the one off balance, I know myself so well and have been through HELL that I can simply let them go their merry way and that I will go my own. I determine what is sane and insane in my life. I'm in my own construct, which is being aware of being within a construct, which is the dysfunctional matriarch and a dysfunctional family. And I know that in that matrix, my voice, my opinion, my thoughts don't matter in that matrix. All right? So I created my own world. Welcome to Catland. Welcome to Patio Chats, where you get to at least have some semblance and idea that somebody on the internet land is still just simply doing YouTube as YouTube was originally intended. It's you on the tube and me. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Patio Chats. It's my world, my rules, my good time. And you get to vicariously live through me if you wish, or learn a thing or two. Okay? So, just because a person is pursuing spiritual pursuits and self-growth does not make them good people. So women, when you go out there and you're taking those breathwork classes and getting over your childhood trauma and conditioning and all that good stuff, just be aware that man huffing and puffing next to you having his own experience, he may be the most toxic person that you could possibly have in your life. So just because he's pursuing his own spiritual enlightenment does not mean he's a good person. The man who lurks at retreats and goes to these self-help things and these group healing things, he does not have a halo over his head. No, look very closely. If there is one there, it's tarnished, rusted, and fallen apart. Really see what it is that he has going on. How much of your energy is he trying to siphon? And that goes for female relationships too. So, discernment is key. Discernment is key. And discernment means what is right for you may not be right for somebody else. I was a vegetarian once. I had a dream at 17. In the dream, a Zuni sunflower god came to me and it looked just like it. I didn't identify it until 5 years later when I was a student at the University of Arizona when I was 22. But at 17, I did not have a clue about what I was looking at. All I know is I had what I then found out was a lucid dream in which I'm spoken to by an entity in the dream. And it was a Zuni sunflower, and it had little slits and little mouth, and it was a sunflower, and it was golden. It had other colorations, but that was the main effect. And dark eyes, dark little mouth, and it told me that when you eat plants, they're honored because they transmute, and they become you. So not only are you what you eat is you. Isn't that cool? And then I realized that I was not going to eat slave animals anymore. And then I learned about energy. And so I stopped eating food produced in mass production by way of mass slaughtering of animals and the mass milking of milk from cows that who knows what happens to them. They're infected udders, those little things that are attached to the big, huge milking stainless steel containers. They actually put them up on their udders, and there's 4 of them, I believe, and they suck the teats. It's like an automatic milk pump for cows, and they get infected, so they have to give them antibiotics. So you're getting antibiotics and growth hormones with commercially developed meat and dairy products, allegedly. I'm not a doctor. This is my guess, okay? So I stopped eating that stuff, and it made it so that I had an extremely easy pregnancies. I was able to give 2 all-natural births, albeit I was still interfered with. And